Welcome to Judge of Ghana TV. Akwa Baba, Judge of Ghana TV. So, the title of today's episode is The Only Hope for New Patriotic Party NPP in 2028 is Kennedy Agyapong. Ansa na yɛbɛkɔ the substantive matter no, yɛntie the Colonel Festus Aboagye ɛka ɛfa political parties no ɔmo Ghana ha amanyoku no ɔmo Ghana ha no. Ɔpa kyerɛ sɛ duopoly no they have become a criminal enterprise. Na kyerɛ sɛ the whole process of collation no abɛyɛ criminal enterprise. Ɛna ɔno wama ne full details of how. Yɛntie the Colonel Festus Aboagye ɛka na yɛbaa na yɛatoa so.
All the discussions that I've heard emphasize that there is no provision in CI 127 that allows the EC to move the collation of constituency results outside of the constituency. And in this case, we are not even talking of one. We're talking of quite a number of them. I think about 4, which have been brought to Tesano. Secondly, there's a question of integrity. The NDC, as of last night, had disputed that the EC, or they had agreed with the EC to move the collation, recollation, or whatever they want to call it, to Tesano. So something is not right. And I came to the studio, Samson, with this cash receipt book, which allows you to fill the original and then to have what otherwise we would call counterfoils, which in this case will be the duplicate, triplicate, and so on and so forth. How could we sit around this table? And I think Kofi has just arrived. I haven't seen you for quite a while. Sit around this table. One of us, in the presence of all of us, fills this form. And then the EC retains the original.
Right.
And then we tear the first duplicate and give to Kofi,
right,
a triplicate to you. The moment that is done, the figures change. So we're talking about criminality. And instead of the EC coming to explain, I would have wished that the EC took responsibility for this lacuna.
And the explanation you just gave is consistent with regulations 42, 43 of the regulations that govern these elections, because they talk about the role of the returning officer. At the polling station, you have the presiding officer. So the presiding officer will get the ballots together in the full glare of the public.
Yes.
They will be sorted, they will be counted, and for that particular polling station, who won and who lost will be made clear.
Precisely.
Then they are moved to the constituency collation center. What they are moving there is not the ballots to be counted.
Yes.
As you just said, there is a counterfoil. So party agents or representatives or candidate agents or representatives have already appended their signature to this result. Why should there be a problem with the ballot boxes afterward?
Asama Samson ayenini ekin enokretrodo. Already know at the polling station or the voter center. Mo akinkan abano. Obiara de ne signature ahye pink sheet no so. Enka was say crampo Electoral Commission kra penyin na ho no or constituency no e paste results no wo. Copy of the results wo notice board so voting center ho. And he said if there's any dispute, and when he say they be kukuru ballot boxes no akọ baby for. And he sama Samson Ayine yi ken de no do he's reiterating what Colonel Festus Aboagye eka. Ti yento aso.
That's the question you are asking.
This is a very tricky question. And we need to use some conspiracy approaches, conspiracy theory approaches. In the course of the campaigning, we heard one political party, precisely the NPP, emphasizing that they were going to win the elections by a strategy. And some of us were sitting at home, talking amongst ourselves and asking, what is this strategy? Now, what I can deduce is that, for instance, when lights go out at a ballot station or collation center and commotion kicks in, could that be part of the strategy? Because invariably we've seen, we've heard Michael Quay Jr., talk in the media several times that in the heat of the commotion, ballot papers or pink sheets, ballot boxes get destroyed. And several parties, I think Okaikwe, Central, Blekume, and so are saying that they don't have their pink sheets. EC hasn't got, or some EC officials, presiding officers, haven't got their pink sheets. Wait, what in the world is happening here? That somebody has calculated that I am going to, and of course we know that there have been ballot papers that have been printed. Maybe we'll come back to that. So could that be part of the strategy, to print ballot papers and then create opportunities where you could smuggle the ballot papers or pink sheets or whatever into the regular or the original, materials? All that I'm trying to suggest here is that probably our political actors and the organizations they belong to have become criminal organizations or criminal enterprises who are seeking power at all costs, no matter what. It cannot be something that anybody will say that I don't have my pink sheet. It can't be. By the way, was it not the EC in CI 127 or whichever one who said that the ballot station declarations, i.e. that pink sheet, will be pasted on a public notice board? If that had been done, I am sure several individuals would have gone there to photograph the pink sheets. So far, I have not seen any pink sheet on my phone. The EC is not accepting responsibility that her own presiding officers violated that principle. Because if the pink sheets had been pasted in public places, we would have had some way of finding what data was entered on these pink sheets. So in a way, the EC has failed, in several ways. Look at yesterday's announcement, which was about the suspension or whatever of this collation going on at Tesano. And the EC saying that it is legal. Another legal brain saying that it is illegal because it is not happening in the constituency. And the EC hasn't got any mandate to authorize the movement of those materials and the processes to...
What is the EC supposed to do? That a collation center far away in some region has been besieged by party supporters.
Yes.
So the officers and everybody else is endangered. And they are practically unable to do the work. What are the options to the EC?
A very simple understanding. We had 40,000 plus ballot stations. And we had security officers, some police and some a mixture of police and other security services. Of course, bearing in mind that some of us had argued that the military has no frontline role in policing elections, democratic elections for that matter. So after the elections, the night of the 7th, you didn't need the police officers at the ballot stations. So let's assume 40,000 police officers were deployed. You didn't need them there. You then needed them. How many constituencies do we have? 600?
276.
Yes. So you needed police to secure or reinforce the security at these collation centers. I'm not aware that that kind of redeployment was done. If it had been done, there would have been more security presence at the collation centers. Of course,
Colonel Festus Aboagye say mbra bi ani hɔ a ɛma Electoral Commission kwan sɛ ɔde collation no bɛfiri constituency ade akɔ Ghana Police Training School Tesano Accra. Na commission no, Electoral Commission wafeeli Ghana for because wafeeli sɛ ɔbɛpaste pink sheet no wɔ notice board so ɛwɔ voting center hɔ. Ɛna wɔse wohwɛ nsɛm a na Michael Kwe Jr. ɔka ɛwɔ Dɔme Kwabenya a sɛ kanea no dum a ɛna nkurɔfoɔ ɛyɛ kululu. Sɛ kanea no dum a ɛna nkurɔfoɔ yɛ kululu na wɔse saa adeɛ na ɛkɔ so no bia na ɛyɛ strategy bi a obi party bi use ɛna wɔse wotie nsɛm a na New Patriotic Party for binom ka. Me deɛ nkurɔfoɔ te sɛ Wontumi ɛne Brana Champon. Na kyerɛ sɛ ɔmudum kanea no a ɛna nsɛmɔne kɔ so. Ballot papers, ballot boxes disappear. Pink sheets go missing. Because wɔse ɔnte aseɛ sɛ at voting center no, at all the voting centers, all the polling agents for all the parties signed the pink sheet. Na afei deɛ some of the political parties, namely the New Patriotic Party, ɛka sɛ ɔmo ni copies of pink sheets. Ɔnte ase. He can't think far concerning that. Ɔnte ase. Na failure of Electoral Commission say paste the pink sheets on the notice board at the voting center and no na causes our same way. Na say light off a yedum no during counting any collation no can ma yet to say plan B or mass say or we are battle no mu. And I will say as far as it's concerned, parties, political parties, or patchere duopoly no National Democratic Congress any New Patriotic Party drew the idea dane criminal enterprises. And also Electoral Commissioner failing Ghana in several ways. They failed to paste the pink sheets in the disputed areas. They failed to deploy police and security forces into the collation centers in the constituency. Because omo faili enti na omo person omo move recollation no call Tesano Police Depot, Police Training School, under police guard. Now we say the Electoral Commission also failed. Omo faili say omo anticipate say ntokwa bekoso was certain areas and a disputes bekoso. Enti omo plan ade ni yie na say sa na we na cause violence. Enti there Colonel Festus Aboagye kan ye no. Nti yɛnto aso na yɛnkɔhwɛ nsɛm a Miracles Aboagye, the communications director for the campaign of Dr. Baumia, ɔno nso deɛ ɔka kyerɛ Joy News, nsɛm a ɔka wɔde to dwa about the potential of Dr. Baumia restanding as New Patriotic Party presidential candidate in 2028. Yentie.
The one thing is for sure that the party and even the people of this country acknowledges his hard work, his dedication. Nobody, even in the midst of all this discussion, has even pointed a finger at him.
Really? They have mentioned why the president brought him into his campaign in the first place, to fix the economy. The economy is broken as never before.
But we've seen the post-election analysis. Now we are not doing the pre-assumptions. The numbers and the outcome and the sentiment exiting the polls is quite clear. Everybody believes that he's applied himself very well. The party and most of us are simply waiting for him to make a decision. And I can tell you that the party is on standby for him to take a firm decision. And once he decides that he's going to run again, be rest assured that the party is going to rally behind him strongly.
Is that a decision you are unsure of?
I am very sure of that. Very,
You're,
very sure.
you're sure he will make that decision
As to
positively?
whether, no, we're actually hoping. We're actually hoping he does. We're actually hoping he does.
You know he will, or you are hoping?
I'm not in his head. Even as a spokesperson for the campaign, I only see what he has told me, know what he's thinking. So we are waiting. You can ask him. You can ask him on that. But we're really praying and hoping that he comes to lead us into the rebuilding, reorganization, reflection, and then work towards recapturing. The party is trying to rebuild.
He's the leader of your party,
Yes.
so that's his job.
And he needs to really stand up and lead us to do the rebuilding and the reflection, and then lead us into recapturing.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
Liar, liar pants on fire.
Hey, miracles. Dennis Aboagye. Utumi twa ntro. You're just like your master, Dr. Baumia. Hey, we'll say New Patriotic Party for per se yede Dr. Baumia back in 2028. Asem we pa de intro. Enye possible. Obi a wa faili poto. Yede ne ba second time. Hey, would ne ba 100 times, obi faili 100 times. Dr. Baumia, he just hasn't got it. Onye only leadership qualities biya because on kind of krempo. Intro we chat during the 8 years as vice president. Enye intro kitwa. They be America. Or say the paper Beba Ghana in 2018, 2019. 2024, 2025, ye who PayPal Ghana. Alata for Nigeria for kwa mo PayPal. Omo kra obi anim say omo ye headquarters of 419. Now then the Ghana for the NB. That's an example, a clear example. Intimidate me can say obi twa me the evidence tare ho. So we share me previous episodes are mature and I've provided the evidence. Me nkasa kwa. Na utumi hu say no was Dennis Miracles Aboagye or protecting Ejuma. Because one can say the New Patriotic Party will rally again around Vice President Dr. Baumia. Then Obeka. Utumi nka say yebetwa nabo. Yemfa no nkɔ bio. Say no Obeka. Until you have to understand him. Now, sa abysmal performance yi, edo and Crawford Woma New Patriotic Party, NPP, and almost vote even over 4 million votes for Dr. Baumia. And yet, Dr. Baumia Nankaso, may say, as me title of today's episode, I say, the only hope for New Patriotic Party, NPP, in 2028 is Kennedy Agyapong. Now, Sir Grace here, a work Kennedy so it doesn't quench with time. It only gets better with time. Enti say mu ye kululu, mu manipulating niyama ena Kennedy ntumi amba 2024 ena mo de ma Dr. Baumia ena wa faili poto. And the time say New Patriotic Party say omo pese omo ba power pa in 2028 time omo de Kennedy Agyapong eba as omo flag bearer. And yes sir, they are going to stay in opposition for a very long time. Because this grace that is on people born in June, it doesn't just wipe away. It is something God gave them from heaven. So, somebody Kennedy badia, mimi jidi say, nipa no do one be vote ama Kennedy Agyapong. Me say because and adia twede ampo Nyankopon kyerɛ me in January 2023. Said the best person say ye vote manwa in New Patriotic Party for Ghana Kennedy Agyapong. And nka New Patriotic Party the Kennedy baye anka me vote ama Kennedy Agyapong because of the nyame yi kyerɛ me. Na ɔman fa na mbenti no. Me I voted for Alan John Kojo Chiramate. Yes, because he's the next best thing. So what I say because ono de ɔse a wɔyɛ and his policies in this great transformational plans are undeniable and they are top notch. Alan dear, Obie nim say Alan were top notch, were a global icon. Nti yɛmfa ho their course during the election because in Crawford Oman Tuaba, there was a lot of voter apathy amongst the new patriotic party faithful. P omu didi na omu die. Koshe their course was Asante region. It is a steamrollership of New Patriotic Party by National Democratic Congress. Say uncrofo anko vote ya ubedi ncho ena ampa New Patriotic Party omu di ncho. Enti yentie de Atta Agyemang enso king. Me nua bi tai ka kyerɛ me say life is mathematics. And if it doesn't add up, there's a problem. Enti yentie numerologist Atta Agyemang nsɛm a ɔkaeɛ prior to the elections concerning deɛ ɔbɛdi kunim ɛwɔ abatoɔ no mu ɔno ɔka sɛ ohu sɛ John Dramani Mahama ɛna ɛbɛdi nkunim ɔyɛ ne calculations no ɛna ohu sɛ Dr. Bawumia bɛdi ntwo ɛna ɔse ɔno deɛ na ohu sɛ ɔma mfa Kennedy Agyapong aba deɛ a ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɔmo bɛtumi overcome John Dramani Mahama. Nti ɔno nso ne nsɛm a ɔkaeɛ no yɛntie yɛwie na yɛ toa so.
Mr. This man not metaphysics. No, obi that's a bone sansem. Me, akoko kura mi tia na be me ya. Mo jasem bibi anim. But I use a lot of numbers and the words and the nature niema area. Can't be radio be say Atta Agyemang Africa so we need election na or the area na adwuma. And then we to me there. The area betimi ayo. Last can't radio so na me nipa bi wo. But that be am taka. Just will be could do boni pa or adwuma ni ade ade. Now tro ni din egu nsa left. The food they go nsa left na the area won't carry you. Cherry sa when your way not the basic you are not responsible for it. But obey you.
Why am I your mama winning? Just someone Agyemang so. Ghana is here because
Unnim. I never question it here. Say 2025. Number 9. What did I mention?
yeah.
Number 9, the planet connected to the planet in Pluto. And I don't remember I can't date to be number 9.
Wow.
Na single numbers in 9 the chat 20 year na delay and so pa. The first one no answer dan ko yi aye pam no no. Oba be enjoy the delay and no. I was success ni. Na unim me check ade bi on the date of be kura 2 ni mienu connected to Monday. The color is white. Okura 29th and okura November. Ya nchiri ma won tell 29 2 plus 9 is 11. November 11 kabon 2 2. Numerology and double numbers in here. So 2 mienu na color ni white no. Heart I also had about second also 2 mienu over second coming. Heart odi ba na pure white. Onu ne ho mbere time o kofi onu nu ho niam bi betray abi kokọ so niam bi ko gigi nipa bi di ne heart ye fita ne nipa no betray no ni ade ne second coming no the pure heart no and wo be follow enti anya me nwa say the way obesi aye niam transform niam no ebe yehu na mo can the rise of NPP again ni ade because can the baby mbere bi o time me project Kennedy Agyapong also program
Yeah.
so
Say
no obi no betima bi ti Mahama eno but some pa mbedi matam so me forecaster na me you know party mu chewi ni week na me co programs no asema me kan and say inspiration manya say if NPP fails to break the 8 e be CP
Ezra 94.1
MPP wa be CP
omu wa djuma yitu and me be si block or be be
MPP.
I'm telling you
Ezra 94.
and you may be see
The New Patriotic Party.
No,
This thing that Atta Agyemang said that he saw that Kennedy Agyapong was the one that could swing it for New Patriotic Party if he was voted as the flag bearer of a New Patriotic Party and overcome John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress in the 7th December 2024 elections in Ghana. This thing that Atta Agyemang said, I saw it at the beginning of in January 2023. I had a dream and I saw that the person who would be ideal for New Patriotic Party to succeed in the general elections would be Kennedy Agyapong. And I told many people, but when they refused to and they manipulated matters and gave it to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I lost interest. That was Atta Agyemang. Atta Agyemang said that he put his numerology on the line, saying that John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress will win the presidential elections in Ghana in 2024, 7th December. And it has come to pass. And this is one of the presenters he spoke to prior to the event. So he's come back to sort of have a look, a rehash of what happened, and to tell the story of what happened. And he said that he realized that for the New Patriotic Party to win against John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress, they needed to field Kennedy Agyapong in the 2024 elections. So he was very saddened by the manipulations that went on that led to Kennedy being placed second. So he said after they manipulated things and placed Kennedy second, the New Patriotic Party tried to entice him to come and assist Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and he said he wouldn't because he doesn't back a losing horse. Somebody who is going to lose, he does not back them, because if the numbers suggest that John Dramani Mahama will win the elections, he has no reason to follow after Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So he didn't follow after that. And he said there's something called the Juno Project. And this thing that he's talking about, adeɛ wei a Atta Agyemang ka ho asɛm yi, me a megye to mu sɛ Juno Project no nokorɛ trodo, because me nua bi ɔno no yɛyɛ young no, one of the top prophets in Ghana came to the UK and appointing no and ɔka kyerɛ no sɛ wo nyame ama wo Solomonic wisdom. Ɛna after the event no, bibisa me nua ne sɛ na adeɛ na sɔfo no kaeɛ no wɔyɛ familiar with it. And also I were familiar because ɔse wɔso daeɛ ɛna ohu papa bi na bɔdwe tentententententententen ne ti na ayɛ white. Ɔbaeɛ na ɔde ne nsa ɛkyerɛ ne ti ɛna ne ti yɛ electrified. From then on no, saa mebra no, nyansa, bibia ni wa wonya problem, obi anya problem, so wo bɛn no na wonya problem, na wo frɛ no, na woka nsɛm a ɛkɔ so, tight call na wakɔhyɛ. Asɛm a wɔbɛka akyerɛ wo, wobɛtie deɛ woka nyinaa kom, wowie a wobɛka sɛ woawie, na waka kyerɛ sɛ yɛwei 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 yɛwei, woyɛ a case die. Saa na me nua no wɔteɛ. Enti asɛm a ɔɔka nokorɛ trodo, because me nua no ɛwɔ no June. Ɛna bibia problem bia ni hɔ a nipa bɛnya a ɔbɛn no a ɔntumi mfiri mu. nyame bɛma ne nyansa na wakyerɛ wo sɛ fa ha na akɔ yie ɛna yɛyɛ nkɔlaa no ansa na sɔfo no koraa ka kyerɛ ne sɛ prophet no ka kyerɛ ne sɛ yɛma ama ne Salomic wisdom no yɛwɔ school no yɛyɛ nkɔlaa no ɛwɔ Ghana ha na obiara selecting as leader football team wɔ school no ɔyɛ leader ɔyɛ captain of the house ɛwɔ school nti na ɔno no nipa togu ne so ɛnyɛ ɔno na ɔfɔɔse ne ho wɔ nipa so ɛna na ɔnim bɔɔl paa na ade a nyame de ama no wɔse ɔno a ɔbɔ bɔɔl no a onim sɛ honhom bi na ɛne ne bɔ because skills a wɔyɛ wɔ park no so no onim sɛ ɛnyɛ normal nti asɛm a Atta Agyemang ka no ɛyɛ nokorɛ turodoo me my experience na Bible so ka biribi wɔ se he who walks with the wise becomes wise na mabɛn me nua yi paa de bia me ne ne nante me ne ne communicate ne nkeka ho no mea mehu sɛ me nso saa nyansa no aba me so nti ade a Atta Agyemang ka no yɛ nokorɛ turodoo nti me no me believe sɛ woyɛ obi na ɛwo wo June na even po ɔmo sɛ it's impossible it's not impossible with you ɛna na wɔkyerɛ sɛ Muammar Gaddafi na was born in June. Donald Trump was born in June. Jerry John Rawlings was born in June. Kennedy Agyapong is born in June. So what I see, nti and say yɛfa June no nkurɔfoɔ a yɛwɔ ɔmo June no they are going to see Jesus Christ koraa. So we calculation see here yɛwɔ Jesus Christ in June. Nti na otumi overcome all obstacles no. Nti nkurɔfoɔ na yɛwɔ ɔmo June no there's a special grace on them. That they can break through impossible situations and get people to follow them. Whether they campaign or don't campaign, people will just follow them. People naturally gravitate towards such people and they see them as leaders because they have the leadership qualities. There, nyame dem a omo di free soro na bae. Enti asema Atta Agyemang ka yɛ nokorɛ. Na New Patriotic Party na nsenya pese 3 days ago. And I'm share some New Patriotic Party members. Now they were so disappointed about the elections that they had lost. And they almost say, yeah, yepe Alan John Kujo Chiramatinya, yeah, Frafranto, ye vote ma Frafranto, yeah, better. Omu ye better crache ye, we oma fairly poto, oma re poto, elections imu. Because Osha, Dr. Mahmoud Ubame had the backing of one of the largest political party, one of the duopoly, New Patriotic Party. Na edo a nkrofo wo ema New Patriotic Party, ema Dr. Bame tuminya 41% and over in the election, say 41.61%. Edo nipa woma New Patriotic Party. Enye candidate as they say all the monkey crasher suit mo now the New Patriotic Party bram no ho a nipa be vote ama no because almost support the party no and nipa bi wɔ hɔ a it's like yeah the party no won no we na from you know we na from meto maba ama abobafo no sa enti onya 41.61%. Enti wodi second na me no de bia meka. So wodi second o, wodi third o, wodi fourth o, wodi last o. Wari poto because nipa ba ko pe na betumi atena akunya kese no so. And in this instance John Dramani Mahama. Enti emfa ho so unya 4 million votes and over. And now unya 84,000 and over. And now unya 31,000 and over. Bottom line is say Andrew wo time wo force enye yie because favor no ebeto nipa ba akoso. And tumi to nipa mienu so. Nipa mienu tumi share sa akunya kese no. And this time the favor has fallen on John Dramani Mahama. Enti yɛde nyame ase sɛ atɔ no so ɛna me support Alan John Kudje Chamate afrafrantɔ butterfly movement ɛna afrafrantɔfoɔ se ɔmo bɛdane movement for change no ɔmo bɛdane no political party na me hu sɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ no political party a it will be here to stay. They have a future because sɔfo bi a menim no we're very close ɔno n'asɛm ɛntɔ fam da ɔka kyerɛ m sɛ da no a yɛto aba no 7th of December 2024 no nyame yi bibi kyerɛ no na ɔnda yɛ mpo ɛna nyame yi kyerɛ no sɛ ohu map of Ghana ɛna umbrella no ɛkata so and above the umbrella no afrafrantɔ no tare soro ɛna ohu sɛ ɔsono no elephant no on one side of Ghana no wahwe ase ɔda fam tim ɛna ohu on the other side sɛ the mask of the new force Nana Kwame Bediako cheddar ɛda fam tim ɛna split into two. It is broken into two pieces ɛna ɛda fam nti wohwɛ situation a me mom deɛ mehu ne sɛ there's a future for the movement for change if they continuing menka sɛ Alan John Kudje Chamate bɛyɛ president of Ghana but daakye bi a obi from saa party no bɛyɛ ɔmanpanyin wɔ Ghana ha nti yɛnhwɛ ɛna mede bia meka sɛ ɛmfa wo position a wobɛnya wɔ ballot paper no sɛ nyame favor tɔ so a you can even get a position that is above president of Ghana so what aseɛ nti it doesn't detract from the fact say wohwɛ Alan John Kudje Chamate ne great transformational plan no a ɛyɛ great sɛ yɛtumi apply to Ghana bɛfa ne ntoma pa efra because it's so detailed and very specific and it's time bound nti nobody can take it from him even if his votes were 31,022 the fact say adeɛ na watwerɛ no nyansa wom if it's applied properly by the author which is Alan John Kudje Chamate to Ghana bɛfa ne ntoma pa efra that is a fact and it's more detailed than all the manifestos of all the political parties, the duopoly, and everybody else on the presidential ballot paper. And that's a fact. If you like this type of content, like, share, subscribe. And remember, Ghana first, always. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode.